Game 2 of the 2026 season for the Anchorage Bucs. Same field at Mulcahy Stadium, and it's the same team. Jake Sloan joined by Ren Grimsley for the second edition of Anchorage Bucs versus the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. It'll be the same as before. Bucs are the home team. Chinooks are the away team. The Chinooks took Game 1 just a couple days ago, 13-7 after a late game rally in the 6th and 7th innings. Ren, what do the Bucs need to do this second time around to avoid losing back-to-back games to open the season?
Yeah, thanks, Jake. A lot of the problems that came for the Bucs came in that they were walking so many batters. And this pitching staff for the Bucs, they really emphasized to their pitchers that they would rather give up 100 home runs per pitcher than 100 walks. And that's just emphasizing that they want to stay aggressive. Make the batter swing at the ball, put it in play, and you're likely to get a fly out or a ground out than a home run.
We saw that multiple times when pitchers struggled with their overall control all over the place, and the free passes resulted in a plethora of runs given up, 13 to be exact. And like you said, giving up fly balls and ground outs is much more likely to happen when you attack the zone compared to if the pitches in the other batter's box are way inside or outside, and batter doesn't even have to give a second look at the pitch by the time it reaches the catcher's glove. So definitely one of the aspects of the game they want to improve on most, but at the end of the day, it was still game number 1. You still have 39 to go. This is the second of 39 in the regular season, and you have the similar opponent. Lineup looking a bit different for both sides. Ren, go ahead and take us through them.
Yeah, starting with the visiting team, the Chinooks. Batting first, leadoff, is catcher Austin Young. Batting second is right fielder Kirby Jenkins. Third is left fielder Phoenix West. In the cleanup spot, shortstop Nick Moyer. Batting fifth and DHing is Cal Whipf. Third base batting sixth is Reese Vassar. Batting seventh, center fielder Kai Butler. Eighth is first baseman Carter Reed. And ninth is second baseman Tate Green. So almost an identical lineup to the one that they put out there the other day.
Yeah, and then on the Bucs side, they shook it up a little bit. Ren, if you want to take us through that side.
Absolutely. Starting off in the leadoff spot is right fielder Ryan Dara. Batting second, center fielder AJ Garcia. Third, moving to first base from catcher, where he played last game, is Luke Taylor. Batting fourth is DH, moving from first base, Carson Humphries. Batting fifth, third baseman Hayden Miller. Batting sixth, shortstop Finn Leach. Seventh, Camden Lanphier out in left field. Batting eighth is catcher Ty Denton. And ninth is second baseman Chase Maselli, who came into the game late in place of Andrew Sheffield.
In that 4-5 combination, Carson Humphries and Hayden Miller. Humphries went 3 for 4 with a double in the first game, and Hayden Miller had that one of 2 home runs. The other one was hit by the center fielder Garcia. Those are definitely the batters to look out for going against this Chinooks pitching staff, who tonight they will be starting their very own Mason Trotter, the junior lefty out of Rogers State University. This past summer threw a 4.46 ERA, a perfect 5-0 record in 18 appearances. Pitched 31 in the third inning, struck out 25, walked just 14, but did give up 3 homers throughout that process. So new arms for both sides to face off, and obviously for the Bucs, they want to limit those free passes, but then on the Chinook side, they want to limit those errors that gave up so many free runs, and that's where you see the shakeup, one of the few shakeups in their lineup with Whip moving to the DH spot. He committed 2 errors over at third, so they're definitely going to look to avoid any free passes of their own by the way of errors.
Yeah, and pitching for the Bucs today is Ryan Caruso out of Arizona State. Right-handed pitcher, 6'1", out of Corona del Sol High School. He was a top 500 prospect out of high school per perfect game and a state champion at his high school in Arizona. Not a whole lot of stats out of college, as he's not played much for the Sun Devils, but certainly excellent coming out of high school, and looking forward to see what he has today on the mound for the Bucs.
Yeah, definitely an exciting prospect for the Sun Devils if he chooses to stick around. Was the 23rd prospect in the state of Arizona. Went to Corona del Sol, like you said, similar to another Sun Devil pitcher and ex-Anchorage Buck Cole Carlone, who just like Caruso is now, spent his freshman going into sophomore year summer with the Bucs. So look to try to replicate kind of that same type of uptick in production that Carlone had. Obviously, two different prospects. Caruso, of course, being a righty, Carlone being a lefty. But when you have someone that you follow them to the same high school, to the same college, and now on the same summer baseball team, there's definitely some similarities that Caruso would like to inherit from Carlone as well. Starting lineups are being announced now. Teams will come out for the anthem, and we'll be right back after a short break. So it'll be the Chinooks to lead things off here in the top of the first. Mentioned Austin Young leading it off. Talked about Ryan Caruso, as well as what the Bucs need to do differently here in this game. And I think it also can root back to their aggressiveness. A lot of strikeouts their first time against this pitching staff. Obviously, you want to go down swinging rather than looking, but it also comes down to plate discipline, especially against a pitching staff like this who they've already seen the Bucs and what they can do. So it's kind of the dangers, I guess, that come with only a 5-team league. You're going to see a lot of the pitchers multiple times over the course of the next 2 months, both sides in a bit of a chess match to see which side can come out victorious and which one of them was able to take more away from each at-bat.
Yeah, and one thing that didn't happen last game was the Bucs did not give up any home runs. So it's not like they're having a problem being too aggressive so far, and that's led to struggles for them. Their struggles have come on singles and doubles. There were 2 back-to-back batters last game, just put it right over second base and got through to center field. So I feel like the pitching staff here now has to be way more aggressive than they were last time.
Yeah, the power wasn't definitely something to be scared of. A lot of their runs came by the way of just bloop singles outside of one stand-up triple where the center fielder, A.J. Garcia, was just playing too far in because of those bloop singles, and a fly ball just ran right over his head and all the way to the wall. So that was the only hit that really traveled far that posed any sort of threat. But other than that, it was a lot of hit balls that just found their way into the outfield, and so we'll see which side made more adjustments heading into Game 2 as Austin Young, the leadoff batter, steps in against the righty Caruso. The Anchorage Bucs are in the black jerseys with white striped pants. And the road team, the Chinooks, in blue with their road gray pants, as the first pitch to Young is inside for ball 1.
Austin Young had 2 hits and 3 RBIs in last game, so he's certainly a batter to look out for.
That one's grounded over towards third, picked out of the turf by Miller. The throw is in time, and a quick out number 1 for Caruso.
And And last game, it wasn't until the third inning that either team saw any runs. And if you'll recall, last game also the Chinooks batters were swinging out a lot of first pitches. Both teams really were being very aggressive in the batter's box, swinging out second or third pitches. And so far, only 2 pitches in, 1 out for Ryan Dara.
Yeah, both batters had an aggressive approach to start the game, kind of settled in as the game led on. And now Jenkins, the right fielder, swings and misses at a breaking ball in the dirt for strike 1. Jenkins also had a pretty successful first time against the Bucs, as Caruso will kick and deal on the 0-1. Fastball can't grab the outside part of the plate. That'll even up the count at 1 apiece.
Yeah, Jenkins also with 2 RBIs and 2 walks in last game. Like we mentioned, those walks, so many of them. The Bucs gave up 11 in total on Tuesday.
Here comes the 1-1 from Caruso. Swung on and missed once again. He's ahead in the count, 1-2. Caruso attacking the zone early, just like we said. Definitely one of the keys to the game. Make the Chinooks show off the power if they have any of it. Here comes the 1-2 from Caruso. That's fouled back behind home plate and out of play, as Jenkins stays alive in the at-bat. Quick look at the outfield situation, the fielding situation. In left field, Cannon Lamphere, A.J. Garcia in center, Ryan Dara. And then in the infield from left to right, it's Miller at third, Leach at short, Maselli at second, Taylor at first, and Ty Denton behind the plate. The 1-2 again. Check swing. He did go around. It's a first strikeout of the afternoon, or evening, I should say, with first pitch at 6 p.m. for Ryan Caruso.
And that does a lot of really great things for your confidence. So far, he's feeling himself really, really well. A good mix-up of some fastball action, and like you saw in that off-speed pitch, getting him to swing.
Another off-speed down low for ball 1. Phoenix West, the left fielder, lays off of it, though. Quick 2 outs for Caruso and the Bucs here in the top of the first. It's the 1-0 fastball that lands in the other batter's box, and a couple of balls to start things off to West.
West also with 2 walks on Tuesday, so we're seeing where the common theme is. No batting gloves either from West.
Going old school in the Wood Bat League as he pops that one up down the left field foul line, ranging, trying to find it is Miller, but it'll land just behind the Bucs dugout for a foul ball.
West also does something interesting with his feet, keeping them very, very close together at the time of release on the pitch. You'd think it might make him lose a little bit of balance, but he times it up so well that he can step in and really deliver with his legs when he makes contact with the ball.
Kind of reminds me of that Craig Counsell approach. Old D-backs player is fastball grabs the outside part of the plate. That'll even things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 gone here in the top half of the first frame. Caruso looking for a 1-2-3 inning as the 2-2 is hit foul along the first base line, and we'll do it again.
And this is pretty much the at-bat that the Chinooks haven't seen yet, but they're going to want to use, especially in this league. Go ahead and make that pitcher throw as many as he can and get into the bullpen, which we saw struggle from the Bucs last game after a great performance from John Carlson.
2-2 once again, hit right back up the middle. Leach is there, but he won't have a throw as West gets on base with an infield single.
And great positioning from Leach there. Likely wouldn't have been a double, as A.J. Garcia also playing up far.
So the Chinooks get a runner on with 2 gone here in the top of the first. That'll bring up the cleanup man, Nick Moyer. The first offering from Caruso is in there for strike 1.
Moyer in last game with 2 hits and an RBI and a walk and 1 strikeout as well.
0-1 is fouled back and out of play, and it's a quick 2 strikes here from Caruso to Moyer. Caruso not messing around here, attacking the zone early. His last count started 2-0, but battled his way back all the way to a 2-2 count. Here he wastes no time. 0-2 from Caruso, and that's chopped over towards first base. There to grab it is Luke Taylor, and he steps on the bag for an easy 3rd out. Bucs are able to strand 1 runner as we head to the bottom of the 1st, still tied up 0-0. Back here for the bottom of the 1st. The Bucs will get their first crack at the bats against Mason Trotter. Talked about him pre-game, and his first battle will be the leadoff man, Ryan Dara, another ASU prospect. Didn't see a whole lot of time his true freshman year. He'll look to put some stuff on film. First pitch from Trotter is in there on the outside corner for strike 1.
Dara also moving up from the 5th spot in the last game now to hitting leadoff. Had a hit and a run in last game.
Head coach Kirk Schreider saw something he liked from Dara. Definitely has some speed on the base pass. That's what you want to look for a leadoff man. The 1-1 to him, swung on and missed. Down and away for strike 2. One-two count to the leadoff batter. The off-speed pitch is upstairs. That'll even up the count.
Good eye by Dara. It seemed to be right over the plate, just barely high. Lays that one off for an even count.
Here comes the 2-2. That's swung on and missed for strike 3. The first batter goes down by strikes.
Looks like he just swung a little too early on that off-speed pitch. Getting him might be something that the Bucs need to look out for with Trotter.
Stepping in now is the center fielder, A.J. Garcia. He homered in the first game of the season. The first homer of the whole summer for the Bucs. He takes a look at strike 1 that just plops its way right into the zone. A lot of off-speed pitches so far here from Trotter. 0-1 to Garcia is high at the chest. That'll even up the count at 1 apiece.
And a lefty-on-lefty matchup as well. Got to give the advantage a little bit to Trotter there. See what A.J. Garcia can do.
Just one gone here in the bottom of the 1st as the check swing either hit Garcia or hit off his bat. Either way, it's strike 2.
think it hit off his bat, and the face Garcia made seemed a little disappointed that it didn't come in a few more inches and hit him, and also that he tried to swing at one so far in.
Here comes the 1-2 to Garcia. He's able to get a piece of that one over towards second, ranging over his green, and his throw is in time, and it's a quick 2 outs for the Bucs.
We saw a lot of 2-out rallies last game, primarily from the Chinooks, but back when the Bucs were taking the lead early on in the game, it was these 2-out rallies that were so successful. Now here with 2 outs again. See what Luke Taylor can do.
Taylor, the third batter of this lineup. First pitch, chops it. Thought it was foul. It was in play, though. The catcher darts around him and makes the throw to first in time. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Chinooks. No score for either team. Just one hit from the Chinooks after the first frame. We'll be right back with the top of the second. Cal Whip leads things off in the top of the second for the Chinooks. They have the only hit of the game so far through one inning. It's Caruso back out there on the mound for the Bucs. His first delivery is a fastball down low for ball 1.
Whip had a bit of a rough game first go round. No hits and 2 strikeouts and 2 errors as well in the field. Now put at DH. He got subbed in for Drew Hurst.
Fouls that one back and out of play, and that'll even up the count at 1 apiece. He's played in all 4 games for the Chinooks in regular season play so far. Just a 143 batting average, has 1 hit and 1 RBI with 4 strikeouts.
Sometimes it's good to just have a guy stay in the lineup. You know, games happen where you don't get a hit, and just staying consistent and getting in there can really help out a guy a lot and his confidence.
And the Chinooks have played 6 games so far, 4 regular season, 2 exhibition. This is just the Bucs' second game, period. Some of these teams have been playing ball for almost a week and a half now. Just 1-2 in there for strike 3, and Whip goes down looking.
That was just a fastball right down the middle. Not exactly sure what Whip was waiting on. But either way, great execution by Ryan Dara for the backwards K.
His second strikeout of the game. That'll bring up the 6-hole hitter in Vassar. Reese Vassar, that is. First pitch is outside for ball 1 to Vassar, who, like Whip, is through 4 games. But a much better mark at 385. He hits that one right back up the middle. Bounces off the mound. The second baseman, Maselli. His throw not in time. And it's another infield single for the Chinooks.
Maselli just couldn't quite get balance throwing it off his back foot and a two-hopper over to his first baseman. And Luke Taylor, unfortunately, unable to stretch out far enough to get that one for the out.
So now Kai Butler steps up with a runner on and one gone here. First pitch bounces in the dirt, but it's blocked by the catcher, Ty Denton. That'll keep the runner over at first. 1-0 count to Butler. Quick throw over to first from Caruso. Vassar able to dive back in there in time.
Butler had an excellent game last game as well. 2 hits, 2 RBIs.
Was held hitless in his first 2 games. His third one was able to register those 2 hits as a swing and a miss from Butler even things up at 1 apiece. 1 ball and 1 strike with just 1 gone here in the top of the second. Vassar on first after that infield single. Here comes the 1-1 fastball down low for a 2-1 hitter's count. Slight shift put on Butler. Short's playing his pull side. Second base, Maselli, the cover guy if Vassar attempts to steal. Caruso trying to avoid that, though, as he throws back over for the second time this at-bat. Vassar with a healthy lead over there at first. Does not go as Butler swings and misses on that pitch, and that'll even up the count once again.
Yeah, Dara doing a great job holding him back. 2 pretty good throws over to first. Didn't get him either time. But if that runner gets any further away, might get a pickoff at first.
Here comes a 2-2. That one's fouled off of home plate and out back behind. Butler able to stay alive in the count and remains at 2-2. Like you said, we have that semicircle over at first base that's kind of, I would say, not kind of, it's a little darker than the rest of the turf infield, so it's easy to see how much of a lead he has, how much of a difference it is compared to the last pitch. The 2-2 is a breaking ball down low, and that'll bring the count full.
This is our first full count of the ball game, and this is when the duel really starts between the pitchers and the batters. What kind of pitch he wants to bring for his payoff pitch to try and get this batter out. Other batters will pay attention and know that when they come up to bat.
Payoff pitch, runner goes. That's fouled down the first baseline.
Ball a little inside on that one. Seemed like he was trying to pull it left and just got a little bit ahead of it.
Tied up Butler well enough to force a weak dribbler, but Butler was a little late on it and it wound up foul. We'll do the 3-2 again. Runner does not go this time. That's knocked through short and third, and it's back-to-back singles for the Chinooks. Runners on first and second now. Still with just 1 gone here in the second.
Really hard for a pitcher's mentality. You get the 3-2. Exactly what you've been looking for. You think you got him once he fouls it off, and instead he gets the exact kind of pitch he wants and exactly what he was going for last time, trying to pull it between third and short. Successful at bat for Kai Butler.
That'll bring up the first baseman, Carter Reed. Also played in the first game when these two teams play. The first pitch to him is down in the dirt, but blocked successfully by Denton.
Carter Reed with 2 hits, 3 RBIs, and 2 walks in Tuesday night's game. Now he's got a runner in scoring position. Incredibly dangerous scenario, only in the second inning for Ryan Dara.
Opportunity to do some damage early as Caruso steps off the mound for just 1 second, keeping the runners at first and second. Infielders playing straight up. No one's covering any bag. No pickoff attempt available as of now as the fastball flies by Reed to even up the count at 1 apiece. Maselli looks to be the guy over at second if there's a pickoff attempt. Taylor playing a couple steps off of the bag, though, at first. Caruso takes a quick look at Vassar on second before delivering a fastball that's just a hair low for ball 2.
That's such a hard pick off at second to try and get for a right-handed pitcher. Has to turn his entire body. If you're left-handed.
Also allows Vassar to get maybe another step or two further from the bag. 2-1 delivery from Caruso is a breaking ball down and away, and that's ball 3, a 3-1 count, in danger of walking his first batter. Two hits already in the second for the Chinooks. They're looking for number 3. The 3-1 is fouled back and out of play, and that moves the count full.
Now a bit of redemption for Ryan Dara with this 3-2 count. We saw fastballs inside. Might switch it up a little bit as we still have a right-handed batter in who might be looking for that same pitch.
Righty on righty matchup favors statistically the pitcher Caruso. Here comes the payoff pitch from him. That's fouled into the netting behind home plate. Reed's able to stay alive. That was a high fastball there from Caruso.
Yeah, sticking with it just like we talked about. And now, after fouling it off again, exact same scenario that we saw with Guy Butler.
Caruso takes a quick glance over to second before firing the pitch. That's down in the dirt. He loads the bases, still with just 1 out here in the top of the second.
The 3rd walk this series for Carter Reed. Certainly a patient batter.
Not saying at the very least with that type of at-bat, he was able to keep fighting to stay alive. Forced Caruso to make a decision, and that decision loaded the bases for the 9-hole hitter, Tate Green.
Excellent frame job from Denton. Looked a little bit on the higher and outside portion of the plate, able to kid it in, and with no ABS challenge possible, as long as he can manage to fool the umpire, he gets the strike call.
0-1, another off-speed pitch. That drops in there for strike 2, and I think you're required to have an electrical scoreboard in order to have ABS, so I don't think we'll be getting that up here anytime soon.
I don't think it's made its way to Alaska yet.
Hasn't made its way to much of college baseball outside of the SEC. The 0-2 swung on and missed. Off-speed pitch that wound up in the other batter's box, and that's a crucial second out for Caruso.
Yeah, now you can just get this 3rd out at any base you want. Might see some low pitches try and force a ground ball.
That brings up Austin Young, who grounded out to 3rd his first time up just an inning ago. That pitch, first one to Young, drops in there for strike 1. Caruso really finding his command with that off-speed pitch here so far. The bases are loaded for Young. The 0-1 once again on the inside part of the plate for strike 2. Young yet to pick up the bat off his shoulder in this at-bat.
Only one fielding error last game for the Bucs makes a lot more confidence in the head of Ryan Dara, feeling like he can stay confident and throw it down the strike zone with bases loaded. and know that his defense has got his back.
Here comes the 0-2, swung on and missed for strike 3, back-to-back Ks, and Caruso strands the bases loaded to keep the score at 0-0. Bucs will have a chance to take the lead in the bottom of the second, though they have to get their first base runner before they do that. Trotter back out there for his second inning of work after a 1-2-3 bottom of the first. The leadoff batter for the Bucs to be in the bottom of the second is the designated hitter Carson Umphreys.
Yeah, much more natural spot for Umphreys. He was at first base last game and said after the game that he had never played first base for that long before, though did an excellent job, but now DHing. A lot more confidence for him in that spot.
First swing is a grounder that winds up foul along the third baseline. Hit 3 for 4 with an RBI double to open up his summer up here in the ABL. The 0-1 winds up outside despite the frame drop from Austin Young.
And after 6 batters for the Chinooks in the top of the inning, Trotter certainly had plenty of time to rest in the dugout and ice up that arm before coming back out here. So very rested Trotter on the mound.
That one's lined over towards shortstop. There to make the play is Nick Moyer, and that throw is in time. And a short, just 10 pitches in the bottom of the first for Trotter, so wasn't worked too much in the first anyways, but any amount of rest is good if you're the pitcher. Stepping up now will be the third baseman, Hayden Miller. Homered and struck out twice his first game. Fouls the first offering he sees into the fencing behind home plate for strike 1.
A lot of power behind that bat for Hayden Miller. Sent one deep into left field last game. And his teammate at Bradley University, AJ Garcia, hitting the other one in last game.
Fastball from Trotter. Just a bit outside on that to even up the count at 1 apiece. Here comes the 1-1, another fastball, almost the exact same spot. Now it's a 2-1 hitter's count to Miller.
I think more importantly than hitting a solo home run, I'd like to see a base runner and put Trotter in some sort of pressure, make him have something else on his mind with that base runner.
Hasn't faced much adversity, but 3 straight balls from him make this count 3-1. Infield playing Miller straight up, no shift put on the right-handed batter. Drew 21 walks with Bradley this season. So he watches a fastball find its way in there to even up the count.
First full count for Trotter, the longest at bat he's faced so far.
Here comes the payoff pitch from Trotter. And it catches the outside part of the plate for strike three. Miller started to throw his bat. He thought it was outside. But either way, 5 up, 5 down to start the evening for Trotter.
And a really well-placed pitch, but pitches like that don't just come on that single pitch. It starts in the very first inning when he's trying to paint those lines and establish a strike zone with the umpire. And then he can pull off stuff like that on a 3-2 count. And Hayden Miller thought it was outside, but unfortunately a strikeout for Trotter.
That'll bring up Finn Leach, one of 3 Sun Devils on this Bucs roster. Played in just 11 games with ASU, so he saw the field unlike his 2 other teammates. Just 3 hits, though, a 188 average, as watches the first 2 pitches miss for a pair of balls. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Bucs still looking for their first base runner of the evening. Trotter hasn't faced a whole lot of adversity thus far. As an off-speed pitch completely fools Leach there. He swings and misses for strike 1.
Leach in last game with just a hit. And this is shaping up to look very similar to last game where there were no scores for the first 2 innings.
2-1 is chopped over towards shortstop. The throw from Moyer is in time, as Trotter has retired the first 6 batters he's faced so far. Heading back onto the mound is Caruso. He'll look to keep the scoreboard the way it looks through 2 frames, which is 0-0. Caruso back out there for his 3rd inning of work. First batter he'll face is Kirby Jenkins. He struck out his first time up. 1 of 4 strikeouts thus far for Caruso.
And it's really easy to pitch aggressively early on. We'll see now as we get through the second rotation of the lineup where the batters really have the advantage because of the fatigued arm by Caruso. See if he can stay aggressive and continue attacking that strike zone like he's done pretty well so far.
Up to 42 pitches through 2 innings as that fastball hits his catcher Ty Denton in the face mask. I wonder if there was some miscommunication on the location of that one, but either way it ends up in the zone. And also 2 of the 3 hits thus far have been infield singles, so it's not like Caruso has given up a ton of hard hit balls so far. Jenkins just finished up his senior year at Arkansas Tech. 347 average with 13 homers and 62 RBIs. That pitch gets in there for strike 2. Another strong start to the inning for Caruso.
We've seen Caruso with a couple of 0-2 pitches and then lay off a little bit and find himself back in an even or full count, go ahead and put this batter out.
0-2 chop foul along the third baseline as Jenkins is able to stay alive in the count. So we'll do the 0-2 over again. Still have yet to see any type of shift from the infield. They look to be playing every batter straight up here. The 0-2 breaking ball down low. That misses for the first ball of the at-bat. Jenkins also drew 35 walks this past season at Arkansas Tech through 57 games. Was able to steal 16 bases on the base pass. That pitch gets in there for strike 3, and Jenkins goes down on strikes looking.
And that's one of those where Jenkins was just looking for a completely different pitch than what he got. Oftentimes when Caruso's been up in the count, he's relied on the off speed. That time a fastball right down the middle, and it stunned Jenkins.
Second time he's sent the leadoff batter back to the dugout looking on strikes. Phoenix West steps in and swings and misses at a pitch down in the turf. He had the first hit of the game for the Chinooks, a infield single that was too deep for Leach to make a play on. That one's fouled back and out of play, and it's a quick 2 strikes to West.
Also hit the game-winning RBI in their first game against the Matsu Miners, which they won 2-1. Moved up from batting 5th last game to now batting 3rd, so got to figure that there's a lot more confidence in West this game.
Like we talked about earlier, has that unorthodox batting stance all the way in the corner of the batter's box as fouls that one away again to stay alive in the count.
And this is what West does so well, is fighting off these pitches. We saw it last at bat as well for West. That ended up in a single right up the middle.
From Fort Collins, Colorado. Spent this past year at Harding University. That pitch can't grab the outside part of the plate, and it's the first ball. That moves the count to 1-2 with one gone here in the top of the third. Still no score. Chinooks have registered 3 hits. Bucs still looking for their first base runner. Here comes the 1-2. That's popped up down the third base foul line, and it's out of play. Hayden Miller won't be able to make a play on it.
West just continues to put the bat on these fastballs from Caruso. And it's keeping him alive right now at 1-2, but has spent a lot of time now with 2 strikes.
He's been late on most of them. Hasn't been able to catch up to the fastball just yet. Does Caruso go back to it? 1-2. That's popped foul and out of play once again. The 4th foul ball of this at-bat. Caruso really having to work in this at-bat, already up to 47 pitches. Here comes the 1-2 once again, fouled back.
And this is so frustrating as a pitcher when it feels like you've thrown a little bit of everything at him, inside, outside. He got him with a low fastball in the first pitch, made him swing and miss. See if he comes back to that. But right now, West able to get his bat on everything.
1-2, that's chopped over towards second. Maselli's able to play it, and the throw is in time for a much-earned second out.
It looked like he did go a little low, not quite as low as he did before. But on that one, able to get the ground ball over to Maselli. Gets a easy play for a second out, but was far from easy to get that out.
An 8-pitch at-bat results in a weak grounder over to second. A fastball to Nick Moyer is in there for strike 1. Moyer grounded out to third. His first time up back in the first inning. Fastball down near the shins, misses to even up the count. Caruso looking for a much easier inning this time compared to his last time on the mound. A quick 2 outs. But his pitch is upstairs. That'll give Moyer a 2-1 hitter's count. A delivery from Caruso. Misses inside, and that's 3 straight balls. Now in danger of walking his second batter of the game.
And trying to lure Moyer into swinging at one of these low, or in the other case, high pitches. Moyer, excellent plate discipline so far.
Fastball misses inside, and it's a 2-out walk from Moyer to keep the inning alive.
His second walk of this 2-game series. And he's making these pitchers work. And now not what Caruso wanted after 2 outs and a clean inning. Now with another runner on base.
That'll bring up Cal Whipf, who struck out looking his first time around. With Moyer lurking on first. Offering misses down low for ball 1 to Whipf, who has struck out 3 times against the Bucs so far. Quick timeout as the Bucs infield will come to gather with Caruso, who is up to 61 pitches. Now Kirk Schreider will come out to talk things over with his starter. Seemed like that long at-bat with West just took a lot out of him. Now Carson Humphries will make his way down to the bullpen.
Yeah, interesting going with Carson Humphries, who's currently in as the DH, excuse me. And now heading to the bullpen like you mentioned, so we'll see someone else come in to bat. We saw R.J. Carver last game in that DH spot, who had no hits in the game and 1 strikeout. Might see someone we've never seen before or resort back to Carver.
We could also see, I guess, a Shohei Ohtani situation. Humphries being the DH, he doesn't play a fielding position, so that's an option. Well, I'm not sure if they want to overwork Humphries quite that much, as the 1-0 finds its way into the strike zone to even things up. Over to Whipf. Moyer with a very short lead over at first. Doesn't look like he has much intention of stealing. Slider finds its way into the strike zone for a 1-2 count. Caruso already up to 63 pitches, looking to work his way out of the third with a runner on second. Quick throw back over to first. Almost goes through the legs of Taylor, but he drops his glove down in time to keep it from going to the backstop.
And all Caruso needed was a little rest. It looks like that's why Schneider might have come out there to talk to him. Now gotten 2 strikes since then after the 1-0 count.
Here comes the 1-2. That fastball ranges inside to even up things once again. Whip came into the game today hitting just 143. The 2-2 misses down and away, and that runs the count full.
He's been going with the inside fastball. He got Whip looking last time at the plate. Be interested to see what he throws here.
Can he strand another runner? Here comes the payoff pitch. Check swing, Whip goes all the way around, first strike 3. And Caruso gets out of the inning with stranding the 1 runner. So it remains a 0-0 game here through 2.5 innings. Bucs will get a chance to get their first base runner of the game in the bottom half. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium for the bottom of the third. Mason Trotter has not given up a base runner yet as Camden Landfear steps in looking to be the first one. First offering to him is a fastball up high that misses for ball one.
Would like to see a nice long at bat here from Landfear and for all of the Bucs. A nice long bottom of the inning. So we got Umphris warming up in the bullpen. And also just to go ahead and get Trotter higher up in that pitch count and get his arm fatigued and around to the second rotation of the lineup. So that's usually where you start to see the bats come alive in that second and third rotation.
2-0 is popped up into shallow left center field. Nobody can get to it, and it's a leadoff single for Landfear. His first base hit of the summer after striking out 3 times in the first game back on Tuesday. That'll bring up Ty Denton, who is making his debut in the batter's box. First pitch to him is grounded between short and third. And a quick start to the bottom of the third for the Bucs. Back-to-back singles with nobody out.
So far, exactly what they've needed. Go ahead and apply pressure with a base runner in Landfear who has some speed in that left field spot defensively. And now Trotter in a position he's not been in so far this game. We'll see what the Bucs can do.
Chase Maselli steps in now with the corner infielders playing very close in for a potential sac bunt. Maselli pulls away on the bunt attempt as the fastball missed badly down low for ball one, and Trotter now facing his first adversity of the game here with 2 on and no one out.
And Maselli making his plate appearance debut for the Bucs. He came in defensively at second base for Sheffield last game, but did not step up to the plate during that time.
1-0 sac bunt. Missed, but Maselli committed to the bunt, so that'll even things up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Center fielder Butler playing just a little bit off center towards right field to the left-handed batter. Maselli pulls away the bunt attempt, but the fastball made its way in there for strike 2.
It looks like Maselli's sticking with this bunt even after showing it a few times. If he can land a nice bunt over to third, might be able to get Landfear over and sacrifice just the 1 out to move the base runners.
With 2 strikes, though, it's likely he won't, as if he bunted it foul, that'd be a strikeout. He swings at this one. It's a grounder that gets between first and second base, rounding third and coming home. Here comes Lanphier. The throw not in time. And the Bucs strike first off an RBI single from Chase Maselli.
And great awareness from Denton as well to hop over that ball as he was coming right toward him. Getting it over into right field, and Lanphier with his speed. Go ahead and get that first score in the game.
That'll bring the batting lineup back to the top, where Ryan Dara steps in and swings at a first pitch strike. Maselli goes for the sac bunt to start off the at-bat, pulls away, and it results in an RBI single to break the scoreless tie. Still runners on first and second. Trotter takes a glance over there at second where Denton's at before firing the 0-1 upstairs to even up the count.
Still no outs in the bottom of this inning. Be excellent to see a few more runs on before we get 1 or 2 outs.
Dara struck out swinging to get things started for the Bucs. Way back in the bottom of the first, a double steal attempt. The throw to second is in time. Denton slides into third safely. So the runner advances to third. Now 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Two-one Adara, swung on and missed.
And getting that out at second now huge. If he can get this strikeout from Trotter, then what was 2 runners on with no outs quickly becomes 1 runner on with 2 outs, and a huge swing in favor of the Chinooks.
It's a fly ball into left center field. That's going to drop all the way to the wall. In to score is Denton. And Dara is in there with an RBI double.
Excellent placement from Dara. Could not have split the left and center fielder any better. Neither one of them able to get to it, and getting to second base now, keeping a runner in scoring position, and only 1 out on the board for the Bucs.
First pitch to Garcia is upstairs for ball 1, and now it'll be a quick meeting between Austin Young and Mason Trotter.
And this lefty-on-lefty matchup so much more crucial usually than the righty-on-righty. These lefty batters see a lot fewer left-handed pitchers than see right-handed pitchers, so certainly the advantage to Trotter, and it worked out last at bat after a ground out to the second baseman for Garcia.
After retiring the first 6 batters, Trotter has given up 5 hits here in the bottom of the third, which has resulted in 2 runs. Here comes the 1-0 to Garcia. That misses down low for ball 2. The shortstop Moyer is playing very closely to second base. As Garcia's pull side, being a left-handed batter, forces the second baseman Green to play a little bit deeper than normal. 2-0's popped foul the other way. Moyer won't be able to get to it as it falls out of play for strike 1. 2-1 hitters count to Garcia, who grounded out to second his first time up. Homered in the first game between these two teams, I should say, is a 2-1 offering, misses down low for ball 3.
Yeah, and with how good of a hitter he is, doesn't quite have the speed of Dara. So a good decision there from Kirk Schneider to move up Dara to that leadoff spot and put Garcia, who hits a lot for average, into the second spot.
3-1 misses upstairs for ball 4. Now it's 2-on once again for the Bucs, this time with 1 out. That'll bring up Luke Taylor, the first baseman who grounded out to the catcher his first time up. Thought it was foul. It was fair. Didn't have much of a chance as that was the only pitch he saw. And an RBI opportunity here. As the offering from Trotter misses downstairs for ball 1. Taylor, a right-handed hitter, which means Green, the second baseman, will likely be the one to cover second base in the event of a double steal or pickoff attempt. Dara tried to steal third there, held up halfway through as Trotter turned his back to him, and Green took a couple steps back, allowing Dara to take such a big lead.
The entire dugout of the Chinooks reacting once they saw Dara take a few more steps than normal over to third base.
They didn't let him get away with that one, that's for sure. As another pitch misses down and away, and it's a 2-0 count to the first baseman Taylor. Dara, a speedy on the base pass, 6.87 60-yard time. That's in the 90th percentile. That was before he even entered college ball. Here comes the 2-0. Check swing, 1 around for strike 1.
Tough check swing there, was very low. Down, looks like it almost hit the plate. Luke Taylor's eye been pretty good so far with 2 balls, but like you mentioned, that last at bat just had a rough go-around swing on that first pitch.
2-1, gets in there on the outside part of the plate to even things up at 2 apiece. 2-2 count to Taylor. Runners on first and second. Just 1 gone here in the bottom of the third. Bucs have already put up a 2 spot. They're looking to add to that with the heart of their lineup due up at the plate. Here comes the 2-2. Check swing does not go around, and that'll move the count full. Catcher Austin Young looked for an appeal to third base, but there's no umpire there.
Yeah, only 2 umpires in the game today, so that second umpire standing just right behind the mound, having to make that call.
From our angle, it didn't look like he went all the way around. So it's a full count to Taylor. Here comes the payoff pitch. That one's grounded towards second. Throw to second is in time. Back to first. It's a 4-6-3 double play to strand the runners. As Trotter's able to escape, only giving up 2 runs.
First double play we've seen of the season for the Bucs and of this 2-game series.
So the Bucs take a 2-0 lead through the first third of the game. We'll await to see if Caruso takes the mound or if we get a new pitcher for the Bucs. It's a new pitcher on the mound as Carson Humphreys moves from DH to pitcher. First batter he'll face is Reese Vassar. His first offering is upstairs for ball one.
Humphreys threw a bullpen 2 days ago, so expecting to come into the game today. So you might be right about him playing both DH and pitcher.
That ball's sky towards right field. Dara ranging back, and he makes the play for out number one.
The first pop out of the game for the Bucs defense, and had pretty good placement there from Vassar, but just skied it a little too much, and Dara able to get over there and get under it.
So Caruso went 3 innings, struck out 6 and walked 2. A bunt attempt from Kai Butler ranges foul for strike 1.
Had it just stayed a few more feet to the right, would have been a really good bunt, as Hayden Miller wasn't able to get down there in time, and Kai Butler was booking it for first, but it went a few feet to the left, so strike 1, and Butler stays at the plate.
So it'll be 0-1 to Butler. His last time up, he singled. Was stranded at second back in the second inning. As he lines that one foul down the third baseline for another foul ball, and quickly now the count moves to 0-2.
The Bucs weren't able to maintain a lead for very long last game, pretty much giving it up immediately both times they took a lead. We'll see if Humphreys and this Bucs defense can stay strong and stay up 2-0 heading into the bottom of the fourth.
Here comes the 0-2 count. That's swung on and missed for strike 3. Humphreys gets his first punch out of the evening. It's the second out of the inning for the Chinooks.
Quick 2 outs, but the Chinooks bats have been so good with 2 outs. We saw Ryan Caruso struggle just a little bit last inning. Got 2 outs and then put a guy on first base. Humphreys going up against Carter Reed, who walked last time at bat.
Humphreys takes a step off the mound quickly before stepping back on. Now Reed steps in. He walked his first time up. First offering goes way inside, and Reed has to duck out of the way of that one. No fastball on the outside part of the plate. That'll even up the count at 1 apiece with 2 gone here in the top of the fourth. Humphreys a quick 2 out after Caruso was pulled to begin the inning. That one's lined out towards center. Garcia doesn't have to move much as he makes the catch for out number 3, and it's a 1-2-3 inning, the first of its kind for the Bucs, who hold the 2-0 lead heading into the bottom of the fourth. It'll be Carson Humphreys who goes from the mound to the batter's box. So we have our own personal Shohei Ohtani here in Anchorage. First offering to him misses for ball one. Takes that one right back to the pitcher. And Trotter calmly makes the play for out number one.
And it's got to be so hard going from the mound to the plate and completely switching up your mentality, going from really aggressive on the mound, a lot of fast-paced thinking, to then sitting back with a bat. I mean, a tough job for Humphreys. He did come into this team as a two-way player, so was probably expecting it to happen a couple times and probably used to it, but either way, very hard against elite levels like this.
First pitch to Hayden Miller misses for ball one. He struck out looking his last time up. He's able to foul that one off, and that'll even up the count at one apiece. One with one gone here in the bottom of the fourth. Bucs up 4-0 over the Chinooks. 1-1 is in there for strike two. Pretty good framing job there by Austin Young behind home plate. That one swung on and missed for strike three, and Miller's gone on strikes for the second time today.
And Trotter still looking very fresh with a quick 2 outs to two of the better batters on this team in Humphreys and Hayden Miller. Would like to try to fatigue his arm a little more here as he enters the back half of his start.
Quick 2 outs for Trotter. His first pitch to Finn Leach misses for ball one. Leach grounded out to shortstop his last time up. The 1-0 misses high, and it's quick 2 balls to Leach. Trotter falling behind now, 3-0 in the count. 3 straight balls to Leach, who is trying to draw the second walk of the evening for the Bucs. They're still looking for their first base runner of this inning after getting 5 back in the third. 3-0 is a fastball right down the middle for strike one. Leach likely not to swing at that one, so Trotter taking advantage. One count, an off-speed pitch that drops in there for strike two, and Trotter has worked his way back into the at-bat. It's now a full count.
Yeah, excellent comeback from Trotter. 3 really outside pitches and able to frame up these last 2. See the payoff pitch.
3-2 upstairs for ball 4. Leach doesn't even take the bat off of his shoulders, and he gets on first with the 2-out walk.
Now we're going to Camden Lanphier, who started the rally in the 3rd inning for the Bucs with a little single that went pretty high but landed just in front of the left fielder for a single.
First offering swung on and missed for strike one.
And those rallies like that are where the team element comes into baseball. Oftentimes, people assume baseball is such an individual sport, which it is, but when you can really get in the head of the pitcher together and get guys on base consistently.
0-1 misses down low for ball one. Leach shifting back and forth, trying to take Trotter's attention off of the batter. Unsuccessfully does so. Trotter looks off Leach before firing the 1-1 to Landfear. That one gets popped up foul, but it'll go out of play. And it's strike two to Landfear.
And Leach trying to distract him, like you mentioned. That's one of the advantages that you can kind of pull as a base runner when you do have a left-handed pitcher, but also it's incredibly easy for him to eye you down if you try to take off for second and get you out.
Looks off Leach one more before firing a 1-2. That's hit well into left center field, going back, and it'll be off the wall. Here comes Leach. He's going to round third and score. And it's an RBI double for Landfear, who has a pair of RBIs now on the day.
Looked like a very similar hit to the one that we saw earlier, but this one going way further back, bouncing up against the wall. And it looks like a mound visit. We might be heading to the bullpen for the Chinooks.
Tough last 2 innings for Trotter after he retired the first 6 batters he faced. It'll be a mound visit and a call to the bullpen for the Chinooks, who will have a new pitcher when we come back. It's a new pitcher for the Chinooks. Right-hander Jack Florence, who just finished up his freshman year at Air Force Academy, did not play, though he was first-team All-League pitcher in Washington, was the Washington High School Player of the Year, heading into collegiate baseball, getting his first action here against the Bucs in his 3rd appearance this season.
Has a very sidearm approach and a sidearm release. That one going just outside, but bringing in now, going from a left-handed pitcher to a right-handed pitcher, and one with a different release can really fool these batters who have gotten so adjusted to the arm of Trotter.
Trotter went 4 2/3, struck out 3, walked 2, responsible for the runner on second. Has given up 3 so far. If Landfear scores from second base. It'll be the 4th run given up by Trotter. Quick 2-0 count to Ty Denton, who singled and later scored his last time up. That was just 1 inning ago, back in the 3rd. The 2-0 is swung on a miss on a fastball inside.
Be interesting to see if Denton now tries to lay off. That ball was inside. Would have been a ball had he not swung. We'll see if he lays off and tries to get Florence into another walk and get 2 runners on.
Big swing and miss to avoid falling down in the count. 3-0 for Florence. Still a 2-1 hitters count to Denton, though. Gives a quick look over to second before firing, and that one's popped into center field. Ranging back is Butler. He'll get under it and make the catch for the 3rd out. He strands the runner to limit the damage to just 1 run. But the Bucs pitching staff has been able to keep the Chinooks off of the scoreboard thus far. Humphreys back out for his 2nd inning of work after this. Bucs lead 3-0 here after 4 innings. As the second baseman, Tate Green, will step in to lead things off for the Chinooks in the top of the 5th. They have not registered a hit since the 2nd inning. Bucs pitching staff between Caruso and Humphreys have retired for, 6 of the last 7 batters.
And Caruso had a pretty good outing his last inning.
0-1 skied into left field. Ranging under it will be Landfear, who makes the catch for the 1st out.
And as I was saying, Caruso, good inning. Last inning only getting 1 runner on first base and 2 strikeouts. That can have an impact on both the next pitcher, as we see with Humphreys, who's done very well, and also leading into his next start. A lot of confidence, rather than if you come into a game really, really hot and then give up a bunch of runs towards the end, which can really deflate your confidence going in.
Yeah, it was that 3rd inning that really ran up his pitch count, even though he was able to get out of it without giving up a run. Up into the mid-60s, and Kirk Schreider decided that was all he needed to see before bringing out Humphreys for the 4th. Humphreys has retired the first 4 batters he sees and just delivered a first pitch strike to Austin Young, the leadoff batter, before dropping in another one for a quick 0-2 count. Young 0 for 2 with a grounder and a strikeout thus far. It's not often you see the catcher batting in the leadoff spot, as he lays off that fastball upstairs. Wind flowing from right to left here today. 1-2 breaking ball that drops down in front of the plate to even up things at 2-2.
And I love those stirrups that Austin Young has on his shins and calves. It's definitely what I would be wearing if I was out there on the baseball field.
2-2's chop foul along the third baseline, and we've definitely seen everything from terms of fashion in the batter's box, from Young, who has all the gear, to someone like Phoenix West, who has nothing.
Yeah, maybe he stole Phoenix West batting gloves. He has 2 of them. West might be in the dugout looking for him right now.
Here comes the 2-2 from Humphries. That's fouled off once again. As Young's able to stay alive in the count, still at 2-2. Chinooks looking for their first run and their first base runner since the 3rd inning. As Young lays off the off-speed pitch that wound up in the the left-handed batter's box, and that'll run the count full. Here comes the payoff pitch from Humphries. Fastball outside, and it's a 1-out walk for Austin Young.
And Denton did the best he could to try and frame that. It was just a little too far outside for the umpire to give any leeway.
Last time the Chinooks were able to draw a walk, they weren't able to do anything with it.
Having that runner on first now lends the opportunity to get a double play.
First offering is a fastball on the inside part of the plate for strike 1 to Kirby Jenkins. Struck out twice thus far, and like you said, the double play ball is available if Humphries is able to force a grounder. That offering is upstairs to even up the count at 1 apiece. Left side of the infield playing straight up. Right side is Chase Mascali, who is playing quite close to second, and Taylor, who is keeping Young honest over at first base. That pitch is fouled back and out of play for strike 2. Humphries looking to get his second punch out of the game.
Considering how many balls this series have gone right up the middle over second base. I'm okay with Maselli playing that far over toward the bag.
Especially with the right-handed batter in the box, not very likely that he'll able to piece one into right field. Quick throw over to first base to keep Young from getting any ideas. So he gets right back out to a healthy lead. Humphries with a quick glance over towards first before firing the 1-2. That's hit over towards third. Miller grabs it, gets it to second base. The throw over to first, is not in time, so they'll just settle for the force out at second. Now 2 gone here in the top of the 5th after the fielder's choice to get the runner out at second. That'll bring up Phoenix West. 1 for 2 thus far with the single and the ground out. So he watches a pitch run down and away for ball 1. Humphries with a quick throw over to first. Jenkins not even sliding back in, just quickly pounces back on first base like a cat. He'll wait just a moment before getting back out to his lead. That pitch is fouled right into the press box next to us. Better watch out over there.
Hope Sean's okay over there.
Our general manager, Sean, I think I heard a shout of elation from someone in the crowd, so maybe he's flaunting the foul ball that he just got. Jenkins stole 16 bags at Arkansas Tech this year, so he's definitely a threat on the base paths.
Yeah, and Humphries doing a great job keeping him over there. Doesn't look like Jenkins is completely comfortable with too far of a lead.
1-1 is downstairs for ball 2. And it'll definitely be Finn Leach to cover second as Chase Maselli is basically playing into right field with this current shift, West being a left-handed batter. So it'll be up to Leach if Jenkins gets any ideas. The fastball grabs the top part of the zone to even up the count at 2 apiece.
Completely fooled Phoenix West. He stuck his butt out as though it was going to come in towards his midsection, but excellent pitch from Umphris that West unable to locate.
He's certainly crowding the plate, being in the left corner of the batter's box, about as close as you can get to being as far in and as far away from the pitcher. 2-2 is a slider that can't grab the outside part of the plate, and that'll run the count full. Umphris started humping on the mound, hoping to get that strike 3 call, but instead he'll have to wait. Jenkins will get the green light here with a full count and 2 outs as he gets a easy jump on that, and it's lofted in to shallow right field, and he's into third safely. West with a 2-out single to advance the runner.
Yeah, obviously with Jenkins going with the pitch, just got too good of a jump and able to get to third along with his speed and the ball that just went over the head of Maselli and went very high up before landing.
If Taylor was covering the bag there, that definitely would have been an easy throw-out attempt, but Jenkins, seeing how far Taylor was from the bag, took full advantage of it. As the first pitch to Nick Moyer is outside for ball 1. Runners on the corners for the Chinooks with 2 gone here. Fastball in there for strike 1. Moyer also getting pretty close to the plate there. Umphris trying to maybe back him off with a fastball inside there. Nonetheless, though, it's a strike. The 1-1 offering is down and away for ball 2.
Umphris needs to stay calm. He had a really quick delivery there on that last pitch, and now he has Jenkins in his eye path.
Swung on and missed from Moyer for strike 2, and definitely shortening his stride there with the runner on first, not letting him try to time up his pitches.
Yeah, that time was pretty much exactly what he needed to do. Give a look to both of the base runners and then deliver a strong fastball.
Quick turn and throw over to first. West is able to dive back in with ease. Miller not covering third, just letting Jenkins sort of run free over there, but not letting him get too great of a jump. 2-2 fastball that just misses outside, and that'll run the count full for the second straight time this inning.
That was pretty much the same pitch that was the payoff pitch to Jenkins that resulted in a walk. Denton trying to frame it up just a little far on the outside.
Umphris with a quick glance over to first. The runner goes, but the pitch gets in there for strike 3. Umphris with a strikeout look in there to strand the runners at first and third, and it keeps the Chinooks off of the scoreboard. Bucs up 3-0 through 5.5 here at Mulcahy Stadium. Leading things off for the Bucs will be Chase Maselli, the second baseman. He singled his first time up back in the third. He'll lead things off for the Bucs here in the bottom of the fifth. First offering from Florence is a fastball that gets in there for strike one. Florence, we talked about it before, did not play his freshman year. Another one of those two-way players, was his team offensive and pitching MVP in the same year. L1 bounces in the other batter's box. Maselli easily lays off of that one to even up the count.
Yeah, Maselli got a single his last time up and then was caught on a double steal at second base for the second out of the third inning.
One of the handful of Anchorage natives on this team as he fouls that one back behind home plate for strike two. Spent his freshman year at Cayuga Community College, where he hit .386 with 2 homers, 34 RBIs, also drew 24 walks. Only struck out 12 times. So has some plate discipline, but he'll need a lot of it here. As the pitch bounces down low to even up the count to the leadoff batter.
You could see his eyes track that one going low as he sort of shifted his body to hold back on the swing and head tilted completely down, looking at it hit the plate.
The 2-2 from Florence is hit right back up the middle. Coming in to make the play is Green, but his throw is off the mark. So Maselli reaches safely off of the throwing error from Tate Green.
And there were 3 errors in the field for the Chinooks last game, this time being their first. 2 of them came from third base. It's rare to see a throwing error from second, but as his body was pretty much heading toward the third base foul line, could not easily get it off to the first baseman.
Yeah, not an easy throw by any means, and Maselli's speed didn't make it any easier. So now the lineup turns over to the right fielder, Ryan Dara, who was 1 for 2 with a double and a strikeout. First offering to him misses for ball 1. Maselli also stole 13 bags in 17 attempts at Cayuga Community College. Is in an aggressive stance right now, the 1-0. Once again, downstairs for a quick 2-0 count to the leadoff man, Dara. Talked about Dara's speed, so sure the double play ball is a potential here, but definitely not likely. Florence steals with the 2-0, and that's fouled down the right field line and out of play.
Dara's done really well with runners on base. Last time up, he had Lamphere, who was sitting on third, and it managed to get an RBI double.
Two one-hitters count to Dara. That pitch is in there to even up things at 2 apiece.
It was a slow-moving curveball that Dara unable to respond to. Not quite sure he saw that pitch coming. Certainly much better to take a strikeout here than to ground into a double play.
Here comes the 2-2, swung on and missed for strike 3. The slider got him. That'll be the first out of the inning. Dara going down on strikes for the second time today. That'll bring up the center fielder, A.J. Garcia. His last time up, he drew a walk. Maselli's the runner on first. The offering to Garcia. He's able to catch the outside corner of the plate for strike one. Garcia gave the home plate umpire a bit of a look. Runner goes on the 0-1. The pitch is outside. The throw takes a couple bounces and is not in time. Maselli steals second. Now a runner in scoring position for Garcia.
Yeah, unsuccessful on his last steal attempt. This time had two things working for him that he didn't have last time. He had Garcia standing in the left-handed batter's box that allowed him to get that jump before Austin Young was able to see it, and also a slow pitch on the outside that is unable to handle very well, and like you mentioned, a two-hopper over to second.
Here comes 1-1 to Garcia. That's fouled down the left field line and out of play, and that'll move the count to 1-2. Just one out here in the bottom of the fifth. Bucs still hanging on to a 3-0 lead. Garcia with a chance to add on to that. Florence takes a look over at second before delivering the 1-2. That's popped up over the head of the shortstop. But Maselli is not able to advance to third, so it's a quick one out single for Garcia.
And had that ball just been a few more feet out over the head of the shortstop, Maselli would have been able to get to third. He was already about a third to half of the way towards third base before he had to stop and come back thinking that it might be caught. Just a hard ball to read, but great awareness from Maselli. If it had been caught, it would have been a great play.
That'll bring up Nick Taylor. He grounded into a double play to end the inning his last time up in a similar situation with runners on first and second. That pitch in there for strike one, and that'll even up the count at 1 apiece. Taylor finished up his sophomore year at Long Beach State University. Played in just 14 games, registered 7 hits and 15 RBIs. So he struck out 14 times. 1-1 is swung on and missed. Front door slider went right past him for strike two.
A big swing there, trying to send that to the outfield and drive in Maselli at second base. Just a little bit ahead of the pitch.
Florence once again ahead in the count. The 1-2 is hit towards shortstop. Throw over to second, gets one out. Picked up out of the dirt at first, and it's another double play hit by Taylor to strand the runners on the base paths. It's a 6-4-3 double play as the score remains 3-0 Bucs through 5 innings. Cal Whip leads things off for the Bucs in the top of the 6th. As remaining on the mound for his 3rd inning of work is Humphreys. First offering to Whip is in there for strike 1.
2 strikes today for the DH, 1 looking and 1 swinging. Already down in the count now, even.
Off-speed pitch can't grab the inside part of the plate. If looking to just make contact with the ball, which he does there. That one's fouled and out of play. With now down in the count 1-2, in danger of a hat trick of strikeouts. Humphreys ended the 5th with a K. Looking to get another. That fastball. This is upstairs, though, to even up the count to the leadoff batter. Middle infield is playing all the way back toward the outfield grass as the front door slider misses outside to run the count full. Remains a tight 3-0 game. Chinooks trying to get on the scoreboard after putting up 13 runs just a game ago. That ball is popped up and that'll land foul right on top of the Bucs clubhouse. And Whip is able to stay alive in the count.
Humphreys has struggled with payoff pitches. Really, this whole Bucs pitching lineup has. See if he can rewrite that.
Payoff pitches grounded toward short. Diving stop by Leach. Gets up, but his throw is not in time. And Cal Whiff reaches safely with an infield single.
And a great dive by Leach. If it had just been a couple feet over, he likely would have been able to field it cleanly and gotten the out at first, but a well-hit ball from Whip for his first hit.
3 of the 5 hits for the Chinooks have been infield singles, so a lot of weak rounders have just found ways to elude infielders long enough for the batters to reach first base safely. As Humphreys is able to deliver a first pitch strike to Vassar. Throw back over to first to keep Whip honest there as he dives back in. Vassar 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout. He fouls that one off himself and took that one pretty hard. It'll take a couple seconds to regather himself and try to walk that one off. That can't feel good.
And the Bucs have a few guys in the bullpen. Looks like one guy warming up. Can't quite tell who from here as the clubhouse just covers up the number, but it's been excellent from Humphreys to come in for a little bit of longer relief in his 3rd inning. And if he can go ahead and get this strikeout and maybe ground into a double play, that'd be ideal to go ahead and get out of this inning. And it'd be 3 innings for both pitchers so far for the Bucs.
Looking for his 3rd strikeout. Can't get it on that pitch, though, as it's just a bit outside. It's hard to tell where that pitch, or excuse me, the previous foul ball hit Vassar, but took a little bit to walk it off as the throw over back to first is late on the diving Whip. Infield playing at normal depth as the 1-2 is sliced back up the middle. And it's back-to-back singles to start the 6th inning for the Chinooks.
That really has been the weak spot for the Bucs so far in these first two games has been right up the middle towards second base. It's been with all of the pitchers, not really just one of them.
Back-to-back singles to start off the sixth inning. We've talked about how much that middle of the field has been a magnet for the Chinooks in these last two games. Is Reed Butler, the center fielder, will step up. He's also 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout, but not before a quick meeting on the mound between the Bucs. The head coach will make his way onto the mound. Like you said, some action in the bullpen down that left field line. Not sure if anybody's warm enough to go just yet.
And head coach Kirk Schneider's not taking the ball from Umphris, so likely just talking to him, giving him a motivational little pep talk along with his infield.
Also buy some time for the bullpen pitcher, which is Lucas Perez. Butler steps in. Singled his first time up, struck out swinging back in the fourth. Another RBI situation for the Chinooks. They have 6 hits, but no runs to show for it thus far. First pitch is hit back the other way. A diving attempt by Maselli. Can't get there in time. And it's an infield single, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
And that's a really tough play for Maselli, trying to keep his body toward the bag and not get too turned around, but essentially having to step over his own feet and unable to field that one cleanly now with bases loaded and no outs. Umphris in a little bit of trouble here.
Trouble he is in, that is for sure. Carter Reed, he'll take a first pitch strike looking. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a fly out to center field. Any ball in the outfield will score at least 1 run. Bases are loaded with nobody out. Umphris in a bit of a pickle here, but delivers back-to-back strikes to the 8-hole hitter. Corner infielders playing very far in as that one's hit into left field. It gets down for a base hit. Coming to score from third is Cal Whiff. And the bases remain loaded. The first run for the Chinooks comes by the way of an RBI single from Carter Reed.
Lanfear just read that one a little wrong and thought it was about to go a lot further than it ended up going. He could have gotten to it, but the bases remain loaded. Luckily, only 1 run scored as he was able to scoop it up immediately.
It was a line drive that, like you said, dropped down a lot sooner than he thought it was going to be. It was looking like it was going to be a tight play at the plate if the runner at third, which was Whip, decided to tag. Didn't need to, though, as it's an RBI single from the 8-hole hitter Carter Reed. That'll bring up the second baseman Tate Green, who watches a first pitch strike fly by.
And you knew pretty much once he got that into the outfield that a run was going to score. The tough part is now it's still 0 outs with the bases still loaded.
Fastball just a bit below the knees there, and that'll even up the count at 1 apiece. And like you said, 0 outs remain on the board. Bases are still loaded. Corner infielders playing with their toes on the infield grass. Slider there, able to find its way into the zone for strike 2.
And with that, the Chinooks have also overtaken the Bucs in terms of hits, which the Bucs took over in the 3rd inning. Now 8 hits for the Chinooks, 7 for the Bucs.
1-2 count. Misses for ball 2. Green able to hold up in time, was about to pull the trigger but decided not to. That'll even up the count at 2 apiece to the 9-hole hitter, with Austin Young waiting on deck. 2-2 fastball upstairs, and that runs the count full. Nowhere to put the batter, though. Humphries in desperate need of an out here. Payoff pitch from Humphries, and that's popped up into shallow right field. Dar gets under it. The runner will choose not to tag. Ball was not deep enough, and that throw was definitely on target from Dar. So a good job from him to keep the runners at bay and get the out.
Yeah, certainly that was about the best outcome that could have happened once you saw that ball heading up into the sky and out towards the outfield. But Dara able to get under it with that sun behind him and keep that runner at third, and now with one out.
The bases remain loaded for Austin Taylor, who watches a slider drop in for strike 1.
And the Chinooks dugout has really come alive now in this inning, and rightfully so, as they get the run now with bases loaded. Had no outs, but they're feeling good, which they haven't really had anything major to cheer about since the second inning when they had bases loaded then.
0-1 from Humphries is an off-speed pitch that drops below. Young is 0 for 2 with a grounder, a strikeout, and a walk drawn back in the 5th inning. If he draws a walk here, that'll bring another run across the plate. Humphries with a quick look over towards second. That ball's hit into center field. The center fielder Garcia arranging back. He'll make the play for out number 2. The runner from third tags up and will score, so it's an RBI sac fly for Austin Young. The runners at first and second will hold up, but the lead has shrunk to just 1 for the Bucs.
And also great awareness from Garcia to go ahead and knew he wasn't going to be able to hose down the runner at third, so throws it over to shortstop Finn Leach. Keeps runner at second.
So now runners at first and second with 2 gone. Chinooks have nearly closed the gap entirely with a 2 spot here in the 6th. Fastball just above the chest for ball 1. Humphries. Long look at home plate before he gathers. Here comes the 1-0 from him. Fastball that's in there to even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out away from maintaining the Bucs lead. Started at 3, now down to just 1. Here comes the 1-1 from him, and that's skied into shallow right field. Maselli and Dar are both going for it. Maselli makes the catch for out number 3. So Humphries strands a pair of runners to keep the Bucs lead. So they're now up 3-2 heading into the bottom of the 6th. Obviously gave up those 2 runs after loading the bases, but what a job he did to keep it at just 2 runs as he watches a fastball grab the inside part of the plate to even up the count. Now he'll try to do some damage with the bat, which he hasn't been able to do today after the opening game went 3 for 4 with a double. 1-1 finds its way into the strike zone. Back-to-back strikes from Florence.
And yeah, like you mentioned, probably the last time we'll see him. We got Lucas Perez warming up. And now Umphris can just focus on batting, though did some excellent work on the mound and managed to limit the damage as much as he could.
1-2 down low, and the count runs even once again. Florence, after coming in the bottom of the 5th to finish up some work left behind by Trotter. Now up to 25 pitches. Check swing there does not go all the way around per the first base umpire, and now the count is full. Umphris battles his way back after a 1-2 count, now up to 3-2. The payoff pitch from Florence is fouled off himself to keep the count full. Bucs have registered 3 runs on 7 hits. Chinooks 2 off of 8. Chinooks have the only error of the game thus far. Another payoff pitch from Florence. That one's grounded over towards third. Fielded cleanly by Vassar, and the throw's a bit high for Reed, but he's able to reach his arm up and make the catch for the first out.
And obviously Umphris 0 for 3 at the plate today, but has put the ball into play all 3 times, grounding out. So, something to be said there about just a guy who doesn't strike out much and can just put the ball in play. Eventually, one of those is going to get through, find a hole, and Umphris will be on.
Miller looking for some contact as well as struck out his first 2 times up. Doesn't even get a chance there as that one hits him square in the back. Talked about how much he got hit during his season at Bradley. Was the 12th most in Division I with 26. That's number 27 since opening day way back in February.
So interesting how a guy can be good at getting hit by pitches, but Hayden Miller seems to have a talent for it. He got hit by a pitch on Tuesday, and now won in his 3rd at-bat after 2 strikeouts in his other 2 plate appearances.
He also had 23 stolen bases, so he has some speed on the base pass and is dangerous when he's able to do so. He showed it off yesterday when he was able to score from second. The first pitch to Finn Leach is in there for strike 1.
Finn Leach walked his last time up in the 4th inning and was the lone scorer in that inning for the Bucs.
Now down in an 0-2 hole with 1 gone here in the bottom of the 6th. Miller with a healthy lead over there at first. He'll stay put. Throw back to first to try to catch him lacking is not in time as the pitch was down low for the first ball of the at-bat. Heads up play there by Austin Young, seeing how much of a lead Hayden Miller had. But Miller read it all the way and was able to dive back in time. 1-2 once again. That swung on and missed. The breaking ball got him fooled for the second out. That'll bring up Caden Lamphere, who had that RBI double just back in the fourth. First pitch to him is down low for ball one. Next offering to him, another breaking ball down in the dirt. Austin Young pops up with Miller taking another healthy lead. Miller's able to hop back over towards first before Young decided to throw it. Miller not shying away there. 2-0 inside, 3 straight balls to Lanphier, and with the way he's been able to hit it so far today, probably for a good reason. He singled and doubled so far, both drove in a run. Hasn't had to pick the bat up off his shoulder so far in this plate appearance. 3-0 is outside for ball 4, and that's a 4-pitch walk to the dangerous Lanphier to put runners on first and second for Ty Denton. Now we'll have a quick mound visit between Austin Young and the coach of the Chinooks before Denton steps up to the plate.
Yeah, with 2 outs, you don't really want to pull Florence, as he's done exceptionally well in his other 2 innings.
They have 2 right-handers warming up in the bullpen, but Florence only at 38 pitches so far, so in a close game, probably just giving him a pep talk, a quick matchup preview, just to make sure he's ready to try to get out of this inning unscathed.
And they have confidence that he can. They're certainly not afraid to pull a pitcher with 2 outs, as they pulled Trotter with 2 outs to bring in Florence. So they feel as though they have a good matchup here against Ty Denton.
Denton has singled and flown out in 2 plate appearances so far. First offering to him is a slider that grabs the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Infield playing straight up, nobody covering any bag, allowing both runners to get sizable leads, but it doesn't matter as first 2 pitches Denton sees are strikes.
Denton unable to locate that fastball. Likely looking for something else to throw him off.
Hit just 114 in 21 games at Tennessee Tech this year. At 7 RBIs, though. 0-2 bounces off the chest plate of Young. Both runners will advance. Miller waiting to see if he's able to come home. He will not. As the wild pitch advances both runners.
That puts a lot of pressure now on Denton with two runners in scoring position. The Bucs left 7 on base in Tuesday's game. Would like to see Denton bring in another run here, but with 2 outs, it'll be tough.
Chinooks got 2 in the top half of the inning. Can Denton steal those 2 runs back? The 1-2 is popped up into foul territory, but it will fall on the other side of the screen and out of play. The runners retreat to second and third. Denton stays alive in the count, still at 1-2. Much different game between these 2 teams after scoring a combined 20 runs in their first game, just 5 here today. Here comes the 1-2, outside for ball 2.
Excellent layoff from Denton. like I mentioned, a lot of pressure now with 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning, 2 runners on, and only a 1-run lead. Would like to get a few more insurance runs for his pitchers.
Here comes the 2-2 down in the dirt, and the count has moved to full after starting 0-2. Great patience from Denton so far. We'll see if it pays off. Florence staring down Denton in the batter's box before giving a look over to Miller at third. Here comes the payoff pitch down low for ball 4. And that'll load the bases for Chase Maselli. Back-to-back walks now, drawn by the Bucs. They have not registered a hit in the inning. Miller started it off with a hit by pitch. Lanfear and Denton have both reached by the way of a walk. Nowhere to put Maselli, though, on the base passes. They're loaded with 2 outs, and that fastball is way down low. Young has to dive out of his stance to keep it from going to the back of the backstop.
That would have been a very costly wild pitch, especially after already having one in the last at-bat.
Maselli is 1 for 2, has reached base safely both times by a single and an error. That fastball able to grab the up right corner of the plate for strike 1.
Got to think Maselli's approach here is to opt not swing over swinging, as there have been 2 straight walks, one of them being a 4-pitch walk to Lanfear.
1-1 is outside. Fastball can't move its way back into the zone, and Maselli with a 2-1 hitter's count and a big opportunity here. The Anchorage native with a chance to put his hometown team on his back as he fouls that one away. That'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 6th. Bucs still lead 3-2, have a chance to try and break this one open with 1 swing of the bat here. Here comes the 2-2, swung on and missed for strike 3. And Florence gets his way out of the bases loaded jam, stranding all 3. The Bucs still lead, though, 3-2 heading in to the top of the 7th. As we'll have a new pitcher on the mound when we come back. New pitcher on the mound for the Bucs. Be Lucas Perez, the right-hander, did not throw at all during his freshman season at Chapman University, but gets a chance here. And a big chance that is with the Bucs only up by 1 run heading into the top of the 7th. Leading things off will be the left fielder, Phoenix West. Perez's primary position at Chapman University was catcher, where he played in 11 games with 1 homer, 2 RBIs. Struck out 9 times, though. So he's one of many two-way players here on the Bucs. His first offering to West is a fastball outside for ball 1. Another pitch that's upstairs, and quick 2-0 count to West, who has singled twice and grounded out to second base in his 3 plate appearances. That one's on a rocket down the left field, or excuse me, in the right field. It hops over the glove of Luke Taylor, and it's a leadoff single for West. These bats have come alive for the Chinooks here in the last couple innings. It started back in the 4th inning, or excuse me, back in the 5th inning, before ripping off 4 hits and 2 runs in the 6th.
That's how it was last game, too. Brought on a lot of runs in the back half of the game and remained scoreless for the first 2 innings this time. Not getting a run till the 6th, but like you mentioned, coming alive.
Moore lays down a sacrifice bunt, which is successful. The throw is in time to first, and West is standing on second safely.
Really excellent sac bunt, making Hayden Miller really only have 1 option. And I don't think he was expecting much of a bunt, as he was pretty much in his usual spot over at third base, not playing in.
That'll bring up Cal Whip with a runner on second and only 1 out. Perez with a quick look before firing a pitch that rides way inside and almost hits Whip, who has to duck out of the way.
Don't really see how that didn't hit him, but just barely got out of the way and able to be gloved down by Denton.
Righty on righty matchup. That pitch rode way inside. I don't know how that didn't hit him either. I thought for sure it was going to, but nonetheless, it's a 1-0 count. Another pitch rides inside. This time, Whip stands in and watches it fly right by him. Perez, 5 pitches thrown, just 1 strike thus far. Keeps shaking off Denton behind home plate before finally settling on a pitch. Here comes the 2-0. That's hit into left center field. That'll drop down for a base hit. Holding up at third is West. And it's a 1-out single to put runners on the corners once again for the Chinooks.
Great job by Lanfear to go ahead and get there, scoop it up, and throw it in, but we'd like to see a little better communication between pitcher and catcher. Like you mentioned, Perez shook off many pitches before finally settling on one, and it didn't seem to work out too well.
Just left it hanging in the zone. Whip was able to line that one into left field. That'll bring up Reese Vassar, the third baseman. Fastball goes way upstairs for ball 1. Perez has not had a whole lot of control thus far, facing just his 4th batter already.
Yeah, especially early in the count. He's been falling behind a lot, which the batting average of the batters goes up significantly when you start getting into 2-0 and 3-0 counts as opposed to 0-1 and 0-2 counts.
And outside of the sack bunt from Moyer, he started almost every count with 2 straight balls. Another 2-0. Off-speed pitch is able to grab that inside part of the plate for strike 1. Infielders playing at the corners at double play depth, and then the middle infielders playing back towards the outfield. 2-1, rides inside, that hits the batter and it loads the bases. Still with just 1 gone here, the 2nd inning in a row that the bases have been loaded. That'll bring up Kai Butler, who singled just an inning ago as a part of that 2-run 6th inning from the Chinooks, who once again have the bases loaded and have an opportunity to grab their first lead of the game. First pitch from Perez, lined into left center field. That'll get down. Scoring 1 is West. Rounding 3rd and scoring is Whip from 2nd, and it's an RBI single, 2-run single from Kai Butler.
Perez was not able to locate it when he finally gets it in the zone and hittable. I don't think he has a single whiff this entire appearance yet. And really unfortunate that the Bucs have had a lead all game. And now Chinooks taking the lead for the first time.
Scored 2 runs in back-to-back innings and have the opportunity to do more damage here in the 7th. Perez forces a swing and miss there from Carter Reed, though. To start off the game, Ryan Caruso threw 3 scoreless innings, but since then the bullpen has not been able to back up the starting pitcher, just like their opening game. 0-1 check swing, went around. 4 strike 2, and potentially a bounce back at bat for Perez, much needed right now. Perez with the look over towards first to Butler before delivering the 0-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. A 3-pitch strikeout for Perez, and that'll be the 2nd out of the inning, a big one. Try to get some of that confidence back for him.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what he needed. A quick strikeout now with 2 outs, can get an out at 2nd or at 1st, or another strikeout would be pretty nice here.
Now we'll have a pinch hitter. Drew Hurst will step in for Tate Green, the 2nd baseman, in that 9-hole spot.
We saw Drew Hurst come in on Tuesday at 3rd base for Cal Whip. So we'll see if Hurst also able to play 2nd base or if they'll have to do some shuffling around once they get back to defense.
Has played in all 4 games so far, is 3 for 10 with 3 RBIs, has also drawn 5 walks in that span. Hurst, a native of Ephrata, Pennsylvania. Runner goes. Denton not able to throw to 2nd, though, trying to keep that runner at 3rd. So it'll be a stolen base for Kai Butler. Now the Chinooks with 2 runners in scoring position. Offering is upstairs for another ball. Runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 gone here in the top of the 7th. Chinooks took their first lead off of an RBI single from Butler, who stands at 2nd now. Offering is upstairs, and that'll be ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Hurst to load the bases once again.
Now a quick meeting between Denton and Perez. as we come back to the top of the lineup with Austin Young.
Young still has not registered a hit, has flown out, grounded out, and struck out, but has also drawn a walk. As the mound visit comes to an end, Perez desperately trying to get out of this inning without giving up any more runs. The bullpen remains active for the Bucs. The leadoff batter, Austin Young, steps in a righty-on-righty matchup. That almost hits him. But it's ball one nonetheless. Can't afford a hit batter right now, especially with the bases loaded. There's nowhere to put him. Ty Denton will come back out onto the mound, and it looks like that will be it for Perez.
It's Luke McLeod coming out of the bullpen for the Bucs.
And an unfortunate outing for Perez, who didn't seem to have enough control from the start, just gets 2 outs and is responsible for all 3 base runners left on board. So Luke McLeod will step in. Already a 1-0 count to the batter, Young. But McLeod looking to keep it a 1-run game. Just finished up his freshman year at Baylor University. Appeared in 17 games as a true freshman with a .437 ERA through 22.2 innings. Struck out 15 batters, gave up just 13 runs, 11 of those earned. Also gave up 3 homers, though, which when you're pitching in a conference like the Big 12 isn't completely unheard of with how much power all of those teams possess.
Yeah, certainly an exciting sign for the Bucs to bring on a guy from a big school like Baylor. And what sucks for Lucas Perez is that when you have a shaky game as a pitcher, everybody notices and everyone's able to see it and thinks about it. But as a batter, not so much. But unfortunately, just a bad outing for Perez, who has plenty of time and plenty of games to make up for it. And hope that Luke McLeod can spare a couple of these runs that are still in Perez's name.
So it'll be the top of the order that faces McLeod. The way this inning started out, Lucas Perez came in for Carson Umphris. Phoenix West started off with a single. Nick Moyer advanced him with the sac bunt before Cal Whip singled into left field. Reese Vassar loaded the bases when he was hit by a pitch. And Kai Butler had the 2-run single, which proves to be the difference right now. So Young steps in with the bases loaded and a chance to swing the momentum even more in favor of the Chinooks. These two teams will face off each other countless times this summer. The first offering is popped up in a shallow right field. Ranging under it is Dara, and he makes the catch. So it's 1 pitch, 1 out to Austin Young. Luke McLeod is able to come in and strand all 3 base runners to keep this a 1-run game. Bucs with some work to do as we enter the 7th inning stretch. Trey Harper on the mound replaces Jack Florence to start the bottom of the 7th. The first batter he'll face is the leadoff man, Ryan Dara. Dara 1 for 3 with a double and a pair of strikeouts, so he's been aggressive in the box, but watches the fastball fly by near his feet for ball 1. Harper settles in, and that one is fouled off by Dara into the backstop to even up the count at 1 apiece. Harper finished up his sophomore year at Messiah University, was a member of the 2026 All-MAC Commonwealth second team in 19 appearances, through a 4.14 ERA, struck out 35, and just walked only 12. Delivers another pitch down low to Dara for a 2-1 hitter's count. The Bucs offense desperately needs to get something going. That one's hit right back up the middle, and it's a leadoff single for Dara. That's definitely the way to get things going here for this Bucs offense, which has struggled the last couple innings.
Certainly now you have the game-leading run coming up to bat in A.J. Garcia, who has a phenomenal bat, one of the best on the team. And Ryan Dara, we've mentioned it several times today, but his speed, possibly can steal a base to maybe get in scoring position.
Hasn't gotten the chance to just yet. The bunt attempt by Garcia goes down the first base line. The sac bunt is successful. Dara into second with ease, and that advances him into scoring position with just 1 gone.
Excellent bunt from Garcia, gets Dara over. Got to sacrifice the run, but we'll certainly take it now to get a runner in scoring position and potentially tie up the game with the bat of Luke Taylor, who has grounded into 2 double plays, but be very hard to ground into a double play with a runner on second.
That'll be a quick mound visit between Austin Young and Trey Harper. Not sure exactly why. Maybe some pitch comm issues or some new intel that Young has on Taylor. Like you said, is grounded out in the double plays his last 2 times up. Has hit some balls pretty hard, but they've just been right to the infielders thus far. Now in an RBI situation, also serves as the go-ahead run at the plate. Bucs down 1 run, have a chance to tie it if a ball finds its way into the outfield grass. As the slider grabs the outside corner for strike 1. Harper making his 3rd appearance here in the early season, as that one's hit into left center field. It'll get down, rounding third. Coming home is Dara. The throw is not even attempted. Kai Butler fumbles the ball. That allows Taylor to slide into second with an RBI double.
Excellent hit. Luke Taylor getting it just over the head of the shortstop, finding the gap, and then Kai Butler fumbling a little bit allowed the perfect amount of time for Taylor to come into second. Now keeps a runner in scoring position.
That'll bring up Carson Umphris, or excuse me, we'll have a pinch hitter standing in place of Umphris will be the pitcher, Luke McLeod. First offering is in there for strike 1. McLeod did not see any plate appearances at Baylor this season, was primarily a pitcher, but is trying to show off his 2-way play here. 0-1 to him is fouled down the right field line and out of play, and it's a quick 2 strikes to McLeod. The go-ahead run sits at second base with an 0-2 count. Fastball down and away for ball one.
Great patience from McLeod to not swing right there, 0-2.
Not sure how much batting practice he got in Waco this year, but is in a big moment here in the early season. Harper with a look over towards second. The ball gets away from the second baseman, Hurst, and gets into left field. Advancing to third is Taylor on the error from Harper.
And these errors have just plagued the Chinooks both games. Now, as if it weren't for 2 errors so far in this inning, Taylor would still be at first base. But one from Kai Butler in the outfield, and now along.
That one's hit into the right center field gap. It'll get down and go all the way to the wall. Rounding second is McLeod. He's digging for third. The throw is not in time. An RBI triple from the pitcher, McLeod. And that gives the Bucs a 5-4 lead.
Man, such a valuable hit to take that one the opposite direction. Wouldn't have been able to get over to third if he had pulled it left and gone into left center field, but since he went into right center field and his quick speed, able to get to third base. Still only 1 out this inning. And Hayden Miller stepping up to bat. Looks like we're gonna have a pitching change again for the Chinooks.
A short outing for Trey Harper. He's not able to get through the inning.
A little surprised by how quickly they pulled him. Obviously gave up the lead, but still just shocking that they only gave him 1 out to do so. And it's going to be Paul Whitcop, the right-handed pitcher, number 30, coming in to the mound.
As that sidearm approach, we'll step away real quick while he finishes his warm-ups. Hayden Miller steps in with a chance to add to the Bucs' 1-run lead after an RBI triple from McLeod. The new pitcher is the sophomore righty Paul Whitcop from Richmond University. Through just 5 2/3 of an innings, gave up 6 runs. 5 of those were earned. As the off-speed pitch gets by Miller on a swing and a miss.
Yeah, has that sidearm release similar to Florence, who we saw earlier, but even more dramatic of a sidearm. Almost going at a negative angle from his body.
Next offering is an off-speed pitch that just barely misses for ball 1.
I'm always curious how guys like that come to pitch that way. If it was a coach somewhere down the line who made them try it and found that it worked, because I don't think many children start out playing baseball pitching sidearm.
1-1 to Miller. Hits him right on the elbow guard. The second time today that he gets hit by the pitch. That'll put runners on the corners with just one gone here in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, he does it again and gets hit by another pitch in back-to-back innings. I don't understand how someone can be good at getting hit by a pitch, but he just stands in the batter's box so confidently maybe that the ball is just attracted to him.
Some guys just have it. It's also quite dangerous on the base pass, and with a right-handed pitcher with the back turned toward him, as Finn Leach tries to fire off a sac bunt that is unsuccessful. So he may have the chance to get out to maybe an extra step or two away from the bag. Especially with Leach attempting a bunt there, might draw the attention away from Miller. Leach takes that pitch at least straight up, and it's down low to even up the count at 1 apiece. Here comes the 1-1 count. Runner goes. Pitch is in there for strike 2. And Miller slides in head first safely with a stolen base, his first of the summer.
And just like you said, that right-handed pitcher having his back to Miller, and also the left-handed batter in the batter's box covering up the vision of catcher Austin Young. Just a perfect storm for Hayden Miller, who has the ability to get to second base and does so.
That brings all of the infielders in. That one's hit right up the middle, past both middle infielders. Scoring is McLeod and Miller, who got a great jump off of that pitch, and it's a 2-run single for Finn Leach and a 4 spot on the inning for the Bucs.
It's what staying patient in the batter's box can do for you. He has a ground out, a walk, and a strikeout today, but when it mattered most, with 2 runners in scoring position, able to get one up the middle in his 4th at-bat, and a 2 RBI single for Finn Leach.
And that just shows how important that stolen base was from Miller. It brought both middle infielders into the infield grass. As the pickoff attempt gets away, Leach is going to get to second with ease. And another runner in scoring position for the Bucs.
Pitchers for the Chinooks having a little bit of an issue getting it on the check over to the bases. I saw one to second earlier, and now at first, and that's the 3rd error in the game for the Chinooks.
Like I was saying, that stolen base from Miller forced the infielders to play the depth as if the play would be at home plate. And if they're playing at normal double play depth, there's a solid chance that Leach's ground ball does not reach the outfield and might honestly be close to a double play. So that just shows how close the margins are, as Landfear watches a ball and a strike sail in on the first 2 pitches. With Leach at second base, infield back to regular depth, with the second baseman Hurst playing close to the bag in case of a throwback. Frame attempt from Young is unsuccessful, as that misses for ball 2.
And no matter what happens the rest of this inning, it's so great momentum-wise for the Bucs after giving up 2 in the top of the 7th and losing the lead to come back and respond immediately with 4 runs, take back the lead, now up 3.
Runner goes, swung on and missed. The throw is wide. Finn Leach steals third on a great jump.
Yeah, Young able to catch him, able to see him heading towards third pretty much immediately, but third baseman for the Chinooks, Vassar, having to take an extra step and unable to get the base runner, Finn Leach.
Here comes the 2-2. That's swung on and missed for strike 3 with on the breaking ball down in the dirt.
Now back number 15, Ty Denton.
That'll bring up the catcher, Ty Denton. Bucs have put up a 4 spot in the bottom of the 7th. Another run just 90 feet away with Finn Leach on third. First offering is lined into center field. Kai Butler is under it to make the catch, but the Bucs take a 3-run lead, and all of a sudden, the Chinooks are down to their final 6 outs. Bucs back in front 7-4 after the 7th inning. Luke McLeod back out there on the mound. So he'll face off against Kirby Jenkins. First offering grabs the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Jenkins has struck out twice, reached on a fielder's choice, and popped out to second base. Now in his 5th plate appearance, the slider can't grab the outside part of the plate, and that'll even things up at 1 apiece. 7th inning from the Bucs was the offensive putout that we were waiting for. That one's fouled off Jenkins. Now the big question is, can the pitching back up the bats?
So far, it's been a little bit questionable. If so, spanning back to Tuesday's game, after giving up 2 separate leads to the Chinooks on Tuesday, but now a 3-run lead here.
1-2, swung on and missed for strike 3. Jenkins interfered with the play after the ball was in the dirt, so it'll be a strikeout nonetheless. And the big story right now is that the Bucs were able to weather the storm in the 6th and 7th innings from the Chinooks, which is what eventually led to their downfall in their opening game. So now Phoenix West steps in. A 3-for-4 day with 3 singles and a ground out for him. His last single he came around and scored on. First 2 offerings to him are outside. Now the count at 2-0.
And such a different mound appearance for McLeod than he had just a minute ago after losing the lead.
That one's popped up into left field. Going back to grab it is Landfair. He gets under it for a quick second out.
As I was saying, McLeod came in after just having lost the lead and had a runner on first base, trying to get that third out and somehow get by, and now up 3. And some of those runs came off his own bat, so he had a big part to play in that as well.
Yeah, he's doing it all right now. Had the, as it currently stands, as the go-ahead RBI triple in the 7th. Came around to score. Now trying to will his team to victory on the mound as far as he can go. First 2 pitches are nearly identical. Fastballs on the outside part of the plate. As Nick Moyer, the shortstop, has quickly fallen down in the count 0-2. Drops that one over towards second base. Running to grab it is Leach. His throw on the run is in time. What a play from Leach. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Bucs, who head into the bottom of the 8th with a 3-run lead. Chase Maselli will lead things off in the bottom of the 8th for the Bucs. Fresh off of a 4 spot in the 7th and a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 8th. Maselli watches a first pitch strike from Whitcop. Maselli struck out his last time around. A fastball there.
2 excellent half innings for the Bucs. After they'd given up the lead, taking it back with a 4 spot like you mentioned, and then a 1-2-3 inning, which they haven't had in quite some time. Just getting the momentum back on their side here late in the game when they need it.
1-1 is popped up into the infield. Calling off everyone is the shortstop, Nick Moyer. He makes the catch for out number 1, and if they're able to hold on here, facing that type of adversity and walking away with a win would be huge so early in the season to really get some momentum. As Ryan Dara steps in, he singled and came around to score in the 7th. 2 for 4 on the day with a double and a single. Takes a swing and a miss at that one, though. Whitcop trying to replicate the top of the 8th with a 1-2-3 inning of his own. He was able to get a quick first out, misses there. But for the Chinooks, McLeod is riding on cloud 9 right now. Hit the triple, a 1-2-3 inning on the mound right after. Trying to will his team to victory right now as Dara fouls that one out of play.
And it looks like no arms warming up in the Bucs bullpen, so we'll likely ride with McLeod through that 9th inning. Hope to get a win.
Assuming no runs are scored here, it will be a save opportunity. I'm sure he would appreciate some insurance run as that one's called strike 3. It looked like it was inside and off the plate given Dara's reaction right there, but he strikes out looking for the second out to bring up A.J. Garcia. Garcia has done his job, had the sac bunt that advanced Dara to second. To add to the pressure, has singled and walked as well here today. First pitch strike on the outside part of the plate. Garcia would love to get on base to try to extend this inning and give McLeod some rest there. Garcia lofts that one into shallow left field. A diving attempt, can't get to it. Garcia will stay at first as the shortstop Moyer was right there to back up the left fielder, Phoenix West, who could not get to it in time. So it's a 2-out single for Andrew Garcia to bring up Luke Taylor in the 3 spot.
It's Garcia's second hit of the game and also a walk along with it, so he's been very hot offensively. And a very similar hit to what we saw earlier into that left center field. And like you mentioned, giving McLeod a little bit more rest before he has to go back out there and pitch. Right now, he's on deck.
Luke Taylor fouls that one off for the first pitch of the at-bat. He had the RBI double that tied the game up and brought up McLeod. Bucs now up to 12 hits and 7 runs. Chinooks 4 runs on 11 hits. They have 3 errors, which is really the story of the game. Garcia goes. The throw is not going to be in time. The ball was down in the dirt. A tough play for Young, though he made it pretty close. So it's a stolen base for Garcia.
I like staying aggressive here. Only 3 runs, like you mentioned. It would be a save situation for McLeod were he to come back into the game right now. But a chance to maybe just get one more certainly can't hurt.
Bucs trying to add some insurance runs here in the bottom of the 8th. That one goes way inside on Taylor, who has to get out of the way of that one. That'll bring the count up to 2-1 with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 8th. Infielders at regular depth, same with the outfielders. 2-1 down low for ball 3 with McLeod waiting on deck. Taylor trying to reach base for the second time today. As Whitcop steps off, trying to pick off Garcia, but there wasn't anybody to throw it to, so instead it just keeps Garcia at second and allows Whitcop to hone back in on Taylor. Here comes the 3-1. That's inside for ball 4. It's a 2-out walk drawn by Taylor to bring up McLeod.
And I don't think they called an error on Kai Butler when Luke Taylor got a hit over into left field and made it to second when Butler mishandled the transition into his glove. So they only have 3 errors, and that would have been 4. But either way, Now a walk. 2 runners on.
First offering to McLeod is off the plate for ball one. McLeod has that go-ahead RBI triple just an inning ago. Glances over at second a couple times before delivering the 1-0. That swung on and missed for strike one.
Garcia comfortable taking as big a lead as he wants to. It doesn't seem either second or shortstop are particularly worried about getting over there trying to get a pick off.
Here comes the 1-1. That's hit foul and out of play for strike two. One-two count to McLeod with two gone here in the bottom of the eighth. Bucs trying to add on to their 7-4 lead. His delivery is once again fouled out of play. McLeod's able to stay alive in the at-bat.
Now McLeod giving his own arm a little rest by fouling these off.
Doing anything he can to keep the Chinooks out on the field as long as possible. 1-2 inside. That'll even up the count at 2 apiece. Two way outside. Young has to dive to keep that one from going to the backstop, but both runners are able to advance. So it's a double steal for Taylor and Garcia, who moved to second and third. Now it's a full count with 2 runners in scoring position. Another big at-bat for McLeod here. Comes the payoff pitch from Whitcop. That's popped into foul territory down the first base line. Reed's able to get under it and make the catch for out number 3, stranding the 2 runners. As McLeod will head back out onto the mound in a save attempt here with the Bucs leading 7-4. McLeod back on the mound trying to do it all for the Bucs here in the top of the ninth. First batter he faces will be the DH Cal Whip. That one fouls right off the mask of Ty Denton behind home plate for strike one. Whip 2 for 4 with 2 singles and 2 punch-outs. As McLeod will set and deliver. That one's hit sharply over towards short. Finn Leach has no problem fielding it. The throw is in time for out number 1.
Good to go ahead and get a quick out. Luke McLeod already pitched 1.1 innings, so certainly a bit of longer relief for McLeod, and now just has to face 2 more batters.
Now it'll be Vassar stepping up. First pitch is down low for ball 1. Vassar was hit by a pitch his last time up. He was one of the last batters to face Carson Umphreys before McLeod came in.
Really, all McLeod needs to do is just hammer the strike zone, and if he gives up a home run, it's only a solo home run, still 7-5 game. And just go ahead and keep being aggressive like we mentioned earlier in the game.
1-2 count to Vassar here. That one's hit out towards right center field. Dar and Garcia both ranging back. Garcia makes the catch for out number 2. He had to cover a lot of ground for that one, but it's no problem for the speedy center fielder.
Now just 1 out away with Kai Butler coming up, who had an RBI single his last time up, as well as a stolen base over to second. And 3 hits in total and a strikeout in his appearances at the plate today.
Butler hits the first one he sees over towards second. There to make the plays. Masali, the throw in time for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for McLeod, and that's win number 1 on the board for the Bucs. First 2 games of the season, they split with the Chinooks. This one they win 7-4. McLeod, what a day for him. Gets the RBI triple for the go-ahead score and shuts the door for the final 7 outs and gets the save. Their final score here at Mulcahy Stadium, 7-4 in favor of your Anchorage Bucs. They move to 1-1 on the season.
Exactly what the Bucs needed, a nice comeback. They felt like even after losing big to this team on Tuesday, like they could still win. They knew it deep down in their hearts that the Chinooks were not 8 runs better than they were, despite what the scoreboard said, and they've proved it here today. A comeback win in the 7th inning after giving it up in that very same inning. And resiliency will take you far, especially in such a short season. You got to get these early wins and maintain it throughout the season, but a nice first win here in front of a home crowd at Mulcahy Stadium.
And a very important win at that, as this is the first of 8 straight days where they will play a game. As tomorrow they host the Matsu Miners before heading on the road to play the Chinooks once again on Sunday. They'll be back home on Monday to face the Glacier Pilots before heading on the road once again for 4 straight days in a row to face the Peninsula Oilers, about 2.5 hours away from here. But that'll do it for today's game. I'm Jake Sloan, joined by Ren Grimsley. We thank you for tuning in here tonight on the Anchorage Bucs YouTube radio.
All right.